something! How do I turn off the flashlight? Wait, I don't know how to turn off the stupid flashlight. I am. Do you wanna go? The stream is already rolling. What happened? What's happening? Wait, what? I think so. Guys, I'm very confused as to what's happening. Who's playing right now? Yusuf, do you know how to turn off the flashlight? Guys, do you want to commentate? KCA and KIS. Are you guys ready?
Y'all ready?
Ready?
Y'all, we're going live.
One, two, three.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the third set of games of the Kiev Middle School Football CSAT Girls Tournament, day 2. And right now, we have an important announcement to make due to our roster change. Number 2, number 13, Aliyah and Alisa Pimenova, the stars of the KCA B team. Need I remind you that Aliyah has been the goal scorer of 6 goals yesterday and has made a couple today too. And she will be sitting out due to rest along with Alisa. And so, Dima Konchevsky, talk to me about the games that were just played before.
So before we could see the game of KIS A team and Bucharest. I remember we talked about Bucharest while we were commentating the last game, and we talked that we did not know what to expect from them. So at that game we saw that they have quite a strong potential and passion to play. Their coach are motivating them throughout all the games, and this might be the important aspect of them winning future games.
Yeah, and so the KCA A team still remain have not won a game in this tournament as their record worsens to 5-0 with a 2-0 loss to the Bucharest Vampires A team. And on the other side, both A teams Budapest and Moscow have a tie of 1-1, and likewise on the third field a 0-0. We have this was a time of stalemates. The third sets of match between Warsaw and Prague A teams. And so we're just about set to begin kickoff here. The KCA Eagles versus the KCA B team.
So game is already in process right now. KCA is with an attack. Oh, and this was a decent first shot. Maybe there will be one more. No, but KA's goalkeeper has taken the ball. So, as we already said, KIS B team has already won a lot of games, and they are having enough points to pass to the finals. To semi-finals. I think this game will be more relaxed for them, and it's a great opportunity to try out their tactic one more time and to be more confident with it.
Definitely, I agree with you on this one, Dima. And speaking of trying out tactics, we'll see if number 7, Jojo, who scored the beautiful equalizer against the Prague team today, might even get her own time of fame today, as she is starting today. And we see a lot of new faces too, the ones that are usually subbed in somewhere in the middle of the first half. And correction to be made, number 7 is not starting. She might be sitting out this game too. We have not been yet notified. So even more new faces we see, as we see number 12 hustling defensively for the ball. An important decision made, and it's stolen by KCA on the other side. KCA on the offensive break. Number 14, the defense hustles back, and an easy catch for the goalie. And the goalie sends it to number 10. Kozak girls bring it upfield, have no trouble bringing it offensively, and stay along with the ball. We see Ali Holmquist on the ball. Can't imagine how happy Mr. Holmquist is right now. His daughter is starting a game and will get more than she usually averages. Once again, new opportunities for players who have not yet proved themselves as much. Although we see number 14 on the defensive side, and she's been a common factor and done a solid job defensively. To stop the attacks. Not so much in offense, but she was always a reliable option for the defense. And we see the KCA Eagles on the left wing. It's kicked out by number 14, Kozak girl. Ali Holmquist with a good hesitation dribble, but loses it. Number 14 pushes the ball through. It's a chase down between Kozak's Falcons. Falcons on the right wing. Number 12 is right there. Does not manage to touch the ball, although she's right there. Number 14, exactly what I've been talking about, that defensive reliability. And it will be a corner for the KCA Eagles.
And also worth mentioning about the rivalry between KCA and KIS throughout the years, and here we can see how our younger middle school girls are trying out this feeling of a rivalry between these two schools. And oh, that was a great opportunity performed by KCA, but unfortunately it was a miss. And here's one more try, and they don't score once again. And also, this game is unusual because it's played 6 versus 6 rather than 7 aside. The reason for that is that KCA did not have enough players for 7 aside, so that's why KIS B team had to adapt and prepare a squad with 6 players.
And it will be a goal kick for the Cossacks. And the goalie remains unchanged in these games, partly because the Cossacks do not have a substitution, do not have a backup goalie, I need to say, so it would be, of course, desirable if the goalie likewise had some rest before the the semifinals. However, hopefully the defense will ease and relieve some of the pressure from the goalkeeper. And right now it's the Cossacks. So far the game has been mostly Eagles having multiple offensive opportunities, yet just some things didn't work out for them. Either they couldn't manage to kick it in at the correct time, not enough momentum, or simply just wide. So now it will be the free kick for the KCA Eagles. number 14 says no, does not allow the an offensive opportunity for the. Oh, however, number 12 on the other hand is out quickened by the KCA Eagles, and they net one in. Number 6, if I'm not mistaken, of the KCA Eagles nutmegs our goalkeeper Sia, and KCA Eagles take the lead over the trailing Cossacks.
KS is starting off from the center and attempting a quick attack on the opponent's half, and it will be a throw for KS. And KCA is heading towards the opponent's goals, but defender number 14 on KIS team is against it.
And we can see that the KCA has gained a lot of confidence from that first goal, and they seem to be more active right now in their offense. They seem to be more livelier in a way. They're not as afraid of making mistakes, rather than just pushing the ball through and trying out any opportunities they can get. And now our left back defender will look to clear the ball out, but once again the defense exploits her her lack of decision making. Although she seems like a very quick player, very small and cat-like quickness. However, she just simply has this mental barrier where she takes too much time in deciding where and how to control the ball.
And throughout this game we can see a very strong performance by number 15 on KCA team. She's a striker and she has a very good pace and she knows how to use it, so she has an opportunity to head off from the center of the field actually to the goals of the opponent. Quite impressive.
And an update from the other side, the B teams Bucharest and Prague are clashing right now, and currently Prague Falcons have taken the lead of 1-0 as the Bucharest Vampires B team trails. And will be a throw-in for the KCA Eagles. Number 12 misses the ball, yet number 14 is right there. And this will be a good experience for number 14 to get a feel like what is it like to be left in charge of the defensive unit. So I think she'll only gain experience from it. And as we see, a bunch of Cossacks are stacked on the right side. There's nobody currently on the left. So you can see this game is a bit less organized in sense of formation, that players do not really know their positions. And it will be number 10, and they'll try to push an attack on the right, but it's intercepted by the Eagles in midfield, and the number 14 clears the ball. The number 14 has been doing a great job so far on the defensive end. And number 10 lets the ball out. Throw in for the KC Eagles. And so, a surprising thing about today is there have been a lot of ties. Wouldn't say they were unsatisfying, as there were some great matches to be held, but a lot of suspense is definitely built up for the semis, as we saw two great teams just recently, Warsaw and Prague, fight off in a great battle, 0-0 tie. It's just both teams, according to our on-field reporter, both teams had multiple opportunities, but the whole intensity of the game simply made them caused them to have those little mental errors which they couldn't produce into goals. And likewise with the 1-1 stalemates of Budapest Blazers and the Moscow Penguins. And also, of course, we have for our B teams the KIS B team and the Prague B team. In my opinion, the most fascinating match for the B team yet, despite the satisfying 1-0 victory yesterday. So it can be seen that teams are a lot more concentrated today than yesterday. It is really about go big or go home, build up for these semifinals, and it's just interesting to see. What do you think, Dima?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Malik. So far, the games were really interesting, uh, and even though like a lot of scores, as you said, was like 1-0 or 1-1, it doesn't mean that the game was boring or something. All the games are intense. Every member of each team are trying to show their best. So it's a great tournament.
Well, yes, definitely. And right now we see a goal kick for the Cossacks. So for anyone tuning in, the score is 1-0 with the KCA Eagles up ahead. And on the other side, it is likewise 1-0 for the B team's KCA Falcons. Hold on a minute, Dima.
KCA is currently controlling the ball thanks to the number 10 who's dribbling right now, and the ball is in the middle now. It's an opportunity for a shot, and that's a miss. So we're about to see a goal kick.
And so, Dima, we have not been paying attention to the other side, and it's still 1-0 for the KCA. For this, excuse me, for the Prague.
Thanks for paying attention for that, Malik. So, returning to our game, KIS B versus KCA. The ball is still under control of a goalkeeper of KIS, and it's about to be played into the field. And we can see that KIS B team is now trying some other members of their teams, but we can see that they're quite confident because they have enough victories to pass to the semifinals. So this game is nice and chill for both KCA and KIS. But it's definitely an opportunity to show these members of the teams their best and maybe being on the field more often. And here's one more opportunity for KCA. She's about to have a shot, and there we're about to see a corner. Malik?
Yes, sorry, Dima. There is something that I've not been sure of, so did not want to speculate. But now it's for sure on the other side. We haven't been paying as close attention to it. But the B teams are currently playing with coaches on their roster. We see the Prague Falcons, including their assistant red coach in the red uniform. Likewise, for Bucharest, they're also their female assistant head coach playing within the players. So a rather interesting mix, and also contributes to that chill atmosphere for the teams, as you mentioned, as we hit halftime. And we're back for our supposedly friendly match for the KCA Eagles and the KS B team. And our reporters gave us a little brief about the other side and the reason as to why the coaches are playing. Basically, these matches are treated very lightly as they don't affect the point system, and so the B teams have the leisure to include coaches, and the coaches perhaps can even be take a contest in penalties. And so it's just truly a pleasure to watch. And on our side, we have KC Eagles, who had so far only one win in the tournament. So for them, it might be a little more than a friendly, as they look to prove themselves in this CISA format tournament, which is something uncommon for KCA as a school in general. And so the score for anyone tuning in is still 1-0 for the KCA Eagles. It has not changed since the first early goal. And none of the original starting players have played in this match except for number 14 and the goalkeeper. This has been mostly the second branch, the sub-unit players of rotation. Thank you for the KS B team.
Okay. So KS is currently controlling the ball, and the ball is kept in the center most of the time. And now it's on KCA side. The left wing is blocked by KS. And another great opportunity for KCA to attack. The striker number 15 had an opportunity to dribble. And good save by the KS goalkeeper. And we can see that the corner is about to be crossed into the goal area of KS. Let's see how it will end. And goalkeeper has it to its hand. So now the striker of KS is heading off towards the goals. Oh, nice dribble, nice dribble. Nice dribble through the center.
On the run. Simply cannot catch up with herself, and it will be a corner kick. The defense managed to catch up with Ali, and she will be the one performing the corner. She kicks the ball. It is easily handled by the KC Eagles as they clear the ball themselves, and now it's a chase. A chase for the loose ball. Number 14 kicks it out, probably taking a note from her defensive captain, Chantel Thompson. And number 12 clears the number 14 for the KCA Eagles on the right wing, yet she's stopped by number 6.
And it seems like all thoughts of KIS are currently in semifinals already. They qualified early and they had an understanding of that they will be in semifinals for longest of all the teams. So now they're preparing to compete in semifinals. KS striker is heading towards the goals, but the defense of KCA turns out to be stronger in this episode.
And so for anyone tuning in right now, the score for the KCA Eagles still, and the coaching still remains 1-0 in favor of KCA. While on the other side we have a very special so-called game, untraditional and unconventional game to the CISA format, since the coaches are partaking in the match themselves. And so far, everyone has been having a blast so far playing with their coaches. It's truly a special moment for the team in terms of bonding and simple experience. It's like one big family out there. Sorry, two big families. And back to our side. We will later stream the site for you to give a little context to the game as we hear the loud cheers from the friendly game, which highlights and emphasizes the enthusiasm. And so back to our side, it's a throw-in for the Kozak girls. Seems like there might have been a handball, but referee pays no attention to that. It's number 15 for the KCA Eagles on the right wing. She crosses, beautiful cross, and a good idea of the pass, but it is stopped by number 14. She does not allow them in the Kozak box, and she does a superb job of defending. And Dima, if I'm not mistaken, there has been a change for the goalie substitution. Alisa, number 15, originally the striker, has been given the opportunity to play as a goalkeeper. Probably the reason for that would be to let Sia, the main goalkeeper, rest before their actual semis. Yes.
Absolutely, that does make sense because the role of the goalkeeper is one of the hardest in terms of keeping calm and hiding the nerves. So definitely standing in the goals for several games in a row for 2 days, like you should have a rest at some point, so you'll be as effective as at the beginning of the tournament. Here's a goal kick from KS team. The ball is in the center. It's overtaken by KCA. Nice dribbling, but it's stopped by KS defenders. So, we're about to witness a throw for KIS.
Ra will be the throw-in for the Kozak ladies. And it's in safe hands of Alisa as she throws out the ball. Ooh, pretty far throw. Right to Ali, who has an opportunity to start an attack on the right wing. But she is out-hustled by the KCA left-back defender. Although they manage to get the ball back. And an opportunity, but it is kicked away by the Eagle defense, the soaring Eagle defense. throw in for the Kozak girls. And unfortunately, it goes out of bounds. It will be a goalie kick for the Eagles. And as the Kosek girls try to trap the goalie, she finds a clever way to pass it to the left winger of the Eagles. And the ball is in KS possession for a while. Now it's number 15, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper does a smart choice of just letting the ball out. And for anyone tuning in, it is 1-0 in the KIS Girls B team versus the KCA friendly match, since it will not benefit either side in the tournament system, point system. So nonetheless, despite this being a friendly, there has been a lot of opportunities for the KCA Eagles specifically, and it's just been wonderful to watch, because right now, with little motivation but the love of the game and wanting to play the game, the girls are performing with so much action, so much enthusiasm, and as the score shows, so much success. And on the other side, we can hear the Bucharest Vampires performing their cheers, and they're friendly, where the coaches are partake. If you just tuned in, the coaches, it is not a joke, this is not a test, the coaches are actually partaking their in the match. And on our side, we have an out of bounds play. The second head coach of the Warsaw Warriors, also the former head coach. Need I remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that this man led the KIS Kozaks high school boys team to their KSSL championship 2 years ago. So, Coach Chelsea, how does it feel like being back in Kiev?
It's fantastic. It's fantastic to be standing next to you, Malik. Thanks for interviewing me.
Thank you. This might get too emotional, so I'm just gonna warm the audience beforehand. And Coach Chowski, your team so far, how have they been doing in your opinion?
They really outplayed a lot of the teams. There's been a couple lucky goals, and we've had a lot of good shots on goal that haven't gone in. The goalie play has been fantastic, so I think that all the teams have been really phenomenal.
And have you been frustrated by the most recent tie, or are you just more determined to actually win?
I think it was a really great game. Their goalie was phenomenal. She stopped 3 or 4 really good shots. So we were happy with the tie, honestly. We played really well, and we thought it was going to be a more defensive battle, and that's what it was.
Oh, thank you very much, Coach. And on a funner note, how has it been like catching up with all your mates, apart from me, obviously?
It's been great to come back to to Kiev, and I always love coming back to Kozak town and getting seeing all my Kozak friends. They're great.
And do you feel like Coach Curry has done a good job as the athletic director so far with his CISA?
Listen, Marty Curry always does a phenomenal job. He always takes good care of his teams and the coaches, so it's been really appreciated.
No doubt. Thank you very much, Coach Showski.
Thank you so much. Good to see you as always, buddy.
You too. All right, you can cut it.
So, we're back after interviewing the coach of a Warsaw Warriors team. From his words, we can realize that he is very confident in his team. He also mentioned some phenomenal players of other teams, and that he feels the competition here, which is always great to watch. And here's the final whistle of our game, KIS B versus KCA, and it ended up with a victory of KCA. So, Malik, it seems that the coach of Warsaw is pretty happy with the tournament, right?
Yes, if we've heard so far, and if you haven't been tuned in, we had a little interview with Coach Showski prior, and he mentioned how nice it is coming back home, being in familiar territory, and how well adjusted he's been to this whole seesaw background, and how exciting it was for him to participate here again in Kiev, having the opportunity. And his team so far has been doing pretty well too.
That's right. So, now we're waiting for the first game of the semifinal, which will start at 2:30, so it's not that far away. It's 25 minutes, and then we're about to see the finals of today's tournament, of this 2 days tournament.
Yes, so everything, this is where it all counts. This is where it all matters. Be sure to tune in at 2:30 sharp, as we'll begin the translation of the first semifinals. The championship game for third place for the A teams. Thank you very much.